You know, he's going to have to put on some weight.
Tampa Bay selects Charles McRae, tackle, University of Tennessee. The 8th selecting team in this year's draft is the New York Jets. They exercised their choice in the supplemental draft last year and selected Rob Moore from Syracuse. Rob? Green Bay Packers are up next in today's draft.
So that's why the Jets don't pick. They already got a year of play out of Rob Moore. So Charles McRae, the first offensive player to go in the draft, goes to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, he will not be playing for Floyd Peters on defense, but no. Charles McRae, probably the most polished of the offensive linemen as we speak today coming out of college. Is that correct?
Well, former defensive tackle, you see the size, 6'6 and a half, 291, even has the frame to add a little weight to that. And you're talking about a guy that's going to get better and better, and what they like was the left tackle spot. Antone was on the right. Here's Charles McRae on the left side, and you see him neutralizing a defensive end. Here's Lamar Rogers, defensive end from Auburn. You see him just driving him off the ball, opening up a hole for the running back to run through. That left tackle ability to keep that blind side pressure off the quarterback is, I think, what allowed teams in the top 10 to jump at a Charles McRae.
All right, he won't play left tackle because they have Gruber up there. So they have, if McRae pans out, that's an outstanding pair of tackles.
They know he can pass block. He proved it at the college level, and I think that ability is what really pushed him, maybe in their mind, ahead of an Antone Davis.
So the first offensive player. Here comes the card.
A selection has been made.
This just in, a selection has been made. Or do we have a trade? Trade, and a lot more writing on the trade card, so you can tell by how long they read it.
The Green Bay Packers traded their pick to the Philadelphia Eagles, and the Philadelphia Eagles selected Antone Davis, tackle, Tennessee. The next selecting team is the San Diego Chargers.
So there it is, Antone Davis to Philadelphia. So Nebraska back-to-back picks, Pickens and Kroll 3 and 4. Now back-to-back tackles from Tennessee going to Tampa Bay, and now the Philadelphia Eagles. Good move, Mel. I mean, he's projected as if he reaches his full potential, that he's projected, and you had him the highest rated offensive lineman on your board.
This is an obvious need area for Philadelphia. They went wide receiver last year 3 times in the first 5 rounds. They'll do the same this year. You see Davis's ability at that right tackle spot, neutralizing in pass rush. You're talking about George Williams there for Notre Dame, completely stalemated at the line of scrimmage. You see a guy that's big, strong, physical, is a veteran of the trench forces, even played some guard as well as tackle. And because of that, the Eagles knew they had to trade up. You're talking about the Packers moving down. They don't lose that much, Chris. They moved down to the 19th spot, and they still are able to get a Wilson or a Pritchard or one of those defensive linemen that we know will still be there at that point. So it remains to be seen what they pick up, but I think a good move for both clubs in this particular trade.
All right, San Diego is next up. And on the left, Greg Mello spent many a year employed by the Cowboys, so he's looking at the card interestingly.
The Dallas Cowboys select Alvin Harper, wide receiver, Tennessee. The next choice is Atlanta on a trade from Indianapolis.
We're on a roll, Mel. We're on a roll, Mel. Alvin Harper, that makes sense. They have Michael Irvin. Now they go Alvin Harper. There's Jimmy clapping his hands. There's Syke. There they are in Dallas. There's Jerry Jones right to the right of your screen. There's Chris Myers right to the middle of your screen. And I tell you what, we're flashing left and right here in Irving, Texas. So the Cowboys, you know, they're not going to relax for very long because Atlanta's next, then Dallas with the 14th overall selection. So now they have their wide receiver. The next choice for the Dallas Cowboys, Mel. Now they go maybe a guard, Moton.
This is the trade down, I think, at 14.
Okay.
This is where they moved down. The Raiders were always the team that everybody talked about moving up. Harvey Williams still there. Steve Berline is a guy that they've been flipping to the Cowboys. The Cowboys need that veteran backup. Berline's a possibility. So I think a trade possibility down with Dallas at 14. There's Atlanta sitting there at 13, and there's Randall Hill sitting there for Atlanta. You see Alvin Harper. big receiver, great high jumper, had a tremendous Senior Bowl, was the MVP of that particular game. Here's footage from the Senior Bowl where he beats the defensive back, Joe Johnson from NC State, for the touchdown, and with Carl Pickens, who's going to be a #1 wideout next year out of the same program. Here he beats Jerome Henderson from Clemson, who will probably be a second-round draft pick. So a fine talent that I don't think the Cowboys expected to be there. I know that Norv Turner's happy. We were aware that Norv Turner, who's the offensive coordinator now,